pitch inside. Bradshaw, Stabler back. Here comes the rush. He sidesteps. Can he throw? He can't. The ball flipped forward is loose. A wild scramble. 2 seconds on the clock. Casper grabbing the ball. It is on the fumble. Casper has recovered in the end zone. The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. They said yes. Get your big butt out of here. He does.
Welcome to the Ladies of Darkness, a member of the Business Podcast Network.
Brought to you by DC4L Tips and Teas and the Raider Ramble. Stay tuned to all of us to find our swag and some great content, including our amazing Angria track. Today on the show, we have a special announcement. To all of you impatient pandas, it's been one hell of a week, so we are finally recording just for you.
Just for you. We got some special requests, which made us feel really, really wanted and needed, and that's amazing.
Yeah,
I love
and
you
made
guys.
us get off asses and do this shit.
Well, after the week our team had, I think they deserve it. We owe it to them.
That's true.
So
It's been a good week, a good football week.
and stay tuned for the actual special announcement at the end of the show, because there really is one.
Yes. Calling you impatient pandas was not the special announcement.
It was not. It's good to know. So what else? We got football to talk about. Yay! We had our season opener.
Yay!
It's very exciting. It was a very exciting game.
Yes, it was.
So how has your 2 weeks been, other than, the Raiders kicking butt?
Yeah. Well, I had Aaliyah with me all week at work. Not this week, last week, I guess. And that was interesting to say the least. But we went out to lunch one day, and they had one of those little machines that you put quarters in, and then you can get stickers out. And they had this NFL one. And I was like, no matter what, I'm getting a Raiders one. So we put all kinds of quarters in the machine and got a shitload of stickers. Finally got my Raiders one after $6.
$6 sticker. Worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. And then when we got back to my office, Aaliyah was like, what's Andrea's favorite team? And I looked at her and I was like, is that a real question? And she was like, yeah. And I got unreasonably mad.
Unreasonably mad.
Unreasonably mad.
Well,
except I think it was reasonable.
she should know.
She should know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we do a Raiders podcast together, so what do you think? Oh yeah, Raiders.
She better not say it's the Cowboys. Otherwise, I might have to come down there and beat her myself.
She'd probably say something stupid like the Jets.
That would be hilarious.
Well, that's my mom's favorite team, so.
Oh, you've told me that.
Yeah.
Isn't it because... No, wait, why is it? I don't remember. Wasn't it the colors or something?
She grew up on the East Coast, and not that there's not 500 other teams out there, but she just kind of picked them. I don't know.
All right, cool.
She doesn't have a reason. She doesn't watch football unless I'm like, Mom, you gotta watch the Raiders game. It's on right now.
Did she listen?
She'll turn on for 5 minutes.
Well, that's something.
She can't follow what's happening.
Football's hard.
Yeah, it took me years to figure out where the ball was and shit. So.
I know. It's like so tiny. And sometimes they do those like play action and you think that the runners are splitting out and going on either side and one of them is just running right up the middle or the quarterback sneak or it's really a lot to keep track of.
Yep. Or I'm watching the running back and all of a sudden I notice that the quarterback still has the ball. I'm like, shit.
Did he pass it? Where'd it go? I lost the ball.
I thought they were getting yards on that.
Yeah, exactly. So, nobody should feel bad about that. because it took us a while.
Yes.
However, we've caught up.
We have. Yes. I'm much better at it now.
All right. Well, let's get into team news, and then we'll do our announcement at the end of the show.
I want better execution. Are we clear on that? I want better fucking execution.
So, most importantly in team news.
The most important things. These are actually not team news, are they? You just had to throw this in. Jenny has a couple of announcements.
First off, y'all know that Angria and I love Supernatural. It's our second baby.
Love it.
Yes. So I was watching something the other day, and Ian Rappaport was on there talking like he usually does. And I noticed that he looks like a demon straight out of Supernatural. He's got like straight black beady ass eyes.
He does.
If you haven't seen the demons in Supernatural, you should just look at them, because that is Ian Rappaport.
Just pull up a list, yeah. He really does. I actually have thought about that in the past too, so you know you're right. The other thing that you said to me this last weekend was probably one of the funniest things that I saw regarding all of the games.
Oh my gosh. So I was watching the Texans game, and the coach, Bill O'Brien, the only thing I got out of that game was that Bill O'Brien has a butthole chin.
It's like a straight butthole.
It's not even like just a butt chin, it's a butthole chin.
Right.
It looks like a supermassive black hole.
Looks like a starfish.
It does look like a starfish. And I wonder if he like has to pick lint out of it. Like it's like a fucking belly button.
Oh my god. I'm sure he has people for that.
I wonder how much they get paid, because I'd take that job. If
yeah.
Q-tip.
Mm-hmm. As long as I don't have to do anything weird.
Stick Q-tips in there with Vaseline so it doesn't get sore.
I think we're off the reservation now.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's talk about actual team news.
All right, actual team news. We wrapped up the preseason and dominated our Monday night game with the Broncos.
Woo! We kicked
was
some
so
ass.
Exciting.
Yes,
we did. The game wasn't on until 9 something here, and it was a work night, and I get up at 6, and so I was kind of dreading the next day, but I had to watch the whole game. I mean, it was our first game, and it was totally worth staying up until like 2 o'clock in the morning.
And it was a really good game.
It was a really good game. It screwed up my whole week because I haven't been able to get sleep since then. So if I get a little loony and start talking about buttholes on people's faces, I am sorry. Oh wait, that already happened.
Too late. But now you have an explanation. You know why? That was that game was amazing. I have to say, give us some of the highlights, Jenny.
Well, we kicked the Broncos' ass 24-16.
Woo!
The score sounds closer than the actual game really was. That's because we balled out and played our asses off.
We did. And I got to say one thing that needs to be noted here. We broke a 7-year losing streak on our home openers. We have lost our home openers 7 straight years.
Holy shit.
Until this year.
Well, it's going to be a good year.
I feel it.
I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
I feel it everywhere.
Gross. So Derek Carr went 22 for 26, 259 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He also had 2 rushes for a total of 4 yards.
Woo!
That's more than he's ever had in his whole life.
That is more than he's had over the last 2 seasons, at least, in one game. I was so proud. Watched him run. Oh.
I was like, he needs to scramble more. And then all of a sudden he started running. I'm like, what's happening?
What's going on?
What is
He
this? Listen to me. Josh Jacobs, man.
Oh, man.
He made me so happy. I mean, I knew it was going to be good, but
damn.
He had 23 rushes for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns and added 1 reception for 28 yards.
That's amazeballs. You know who the last rookie running back to actually be able to put up over 1,000 yards and, 100 yards in the first game and a touchdown?
Who?
LaDainian Tomlinson in, I believe it was 2001.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
It is. So that should tell you how amazeballs Josh Jacobs is.
Yes.
Like super dramatic, huge amazeballs.
For real.
Don't address that. Let's move on.
Speaking of 2001, I didn't want to bring this up in the middle of this, but you said 2001. So it was just 9/11 a couple days ago. Mm-hmm. And that was 18 years ago. I cannot believe that it has been 18 years. I remember exactly what I was doing, where I was. I was in 9th grade science class, and I watched the whole thing. And I just want to thank everyone for everything that they do for our country. Real quick, had to say that.
Ditto. Yeah, we have to give some love. We lost a lot of Americans that day, and it was. If anybody doesn't remember where they were, I kind of question what the hell you were doing, because the main thing I remember from that day was dead silence in my office when I went into work, and you could hear every single radio had the same exact news feed on it. Because it was the emergency broadcast system. All you were listening to were news updates, and it was eerie. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it was tough.
Most of the people I talked to were like 3 years old when it happened, so.
Yeah, well, I was 22. And
dang, you're old as fuck.
I am old as, shut up.
I love you.
My son was not even a year old yet. It was, actually, no, I'm sorry. It was just a week, 2 weeks before his first birthday, yeah. So it was tough. It was a tough year.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm. Anyways.
All right.
Moving on to happier things.
Yes. So Tyrell Williams, he made me super happy as well. Mm-hmm. He had 6 receptions for 105 yards and 1 touchdown. And
boy, was that touchdown pretty.
Oh my gosh.
Derek just fed it in there between like 3 defenders. He led Tyrell perfectly just so he could reach out and grab that thing. Oh.
Yeah, it scared the crap out of me.
Oh God, please don't intercept it.
I was on edge that entire game. Like every time Carr threw the ball, I was like, shit! And then it would work out.
He just dropped it perfectly everywhere he threw.
Yes.
Every single place.
When he was, 6 for 6 or 5 for 5 or something, the announcer was like, Derek Carr is 5 for 5. And then I was like, damn it, you little fucker, you're going to screw him up. And then you're going to jinx it.
And I must say, the 4 passes, I don't think I don't recall exactly all 4 of them, but the ones that I do recall are not on Derek. They were totally on the receiver or the defender. Right. I mean, he put them in perfectly. I mean, at least 2 of those were not on Derek. So he threw beautiful all day long.
Yes, he did. I hope he can keep that up for the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Joseph led the team in total tackles with 7. Vontaze Burfict, Max Crosby, Tyre Whitehead, and LaMarcus Joyner added 6 total tackles apiece.
The biggest thing, and I don't see that it's even on here, but we got 3 sacks in that game.
That was incredible.
That is like a quarter of the sacks that we got last year, and we're only on game 1.
I was real mad at the time that I didn't take the Raiders defense in fantasy.
It probably was a good one. I don't know how many points they would have gotten. I guess it depends on what kind of fantasy you play, but that was amazing. The only dirt on Derek Carr's uniform was from when he slid. It was voluntary dirt.
I love that voluntary dirt.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders' offensive line was incredible during the game. That feels wonderful to say.
It does. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful we were to playing hear. Yes, wonderful to hear. We were playing with only 3 starters and didn't let the Broncos get close to Carr all night. One of my favorite things about the game was that for the first time ever, I think, that I've heard, the announcers were saying positive things about our team.
I know.
And about our defense and about our O-line. And I was like, what is going on? Like, they're not talking shit about us right now.
It was like the Twilight Zone.
Yes.
It was crazy. All I heard was positive things. Like, oh, Derek Carr is looking like an MVP. He's a star quarterback. Look at him. He's putting that perfectly. He throws a beautiful ball. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, all I'm listening to is like, are these people high or what?
Yeah, what is
what's going on?
I think at one point, or even 2 times, they said, Derek Carr is one of the best athletes in the NFL right now, or some shit. I was like, whoa.
That's... I haven't heard that in a couple of years. Pleasant surprises.
Right.
So...
hats off to Jordan Devey and Denzel Good for holding down the guard positions in Richie Incognito and Gabe Jackson's absence. Cornerback Garion Conley was injured on a play and had to be carted out on a backboard.
That was frightening.
That was the scariest fucking thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
I was positive that he broke his neck or something, and I just could not wait until I heard what had happened. But he's back to practice and will be playing this weekend, and that just makes me super happy.
Yes, we'll need him. We will definitely need him.
I bought Mark a Conley jersey for the Vikings game that we're going to. Yeah,
you did?
And he wore it during the game. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he wore it?
He wore it for the game, and the part that freaked me out was that he took it off because it was like the middle of the night here. And we were like getting jammies on, and then like 2 minutes after he took his jersey off, Conley got hurt. And I was like, put your fucking jersey back on.
You know how we roll. This is what we do.
Yes. Hopefully there aren't any more serious injuries or any serious injuries.
That's the nasty one.
Yeah. Jonathan Abram injured his shoulder and finished playing the game, which was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But he will be having surgery and placed on season-ending IR.
Yeah, that sucks. But you know what it told me? He is such a throwback player. That guy is crazy on the field, and I loved every single second of it. He got 2 flags thrown his way that were complete bullshit. I'm going to go out there and say they were both complete bullshit. The first one, the pass interference, which was like nothing. I don't know if refs forget that, you know, contact is not pass interference. That's not how that works. But they called him for it anyways because he had his hands on the receiver's waist. I didn't see him try to impede his ability to catch the ball at all or his progress down the field. So that was a bullshit call. And the other one, I guess it was iffy, but I still wouldn't have called it. It would have been a fine no call. So whatever.
At least we didn't get too many like we normally do.
Yeah. I was surprised about that. We were actually able to hold the Broncos to 9 points until close to the end of the fourth quarter. So that's pretty freaking outstanding, especially considering the pass rush that we were playing against. They're one of they have 2 of the scariest pass rushers in the league. I don't care what you say. Denver's got a good pass rush, and our boys held our quarterback up the entire time. They didn't even get a hit on Derek Carr.
We shut him out in the first half.
Mm-hmm. We did. You're right.
That was incredible.
In other news, the Raiders have signed defensive back Justin Burris to fill the empty spot in the defensive backfield left by Abram. Now, I don't know about you, but I have no idea who that is.
Well, that's because he played for the Browns and the Jets. So why would you?
That's a very good point. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, damn, dude. I'm guessing he's playing for the vet minimum and probably agreed that he's going to get cut anytime in the next 6 to 8 weeks. And he knows it. We do have to make room on our roster next week for Richie, so he may be taking a hit. Sorry, dude.
Bummer. Watch him just be awesome.
Oh, man, if he is, they got some decisions to make.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to our next game Sunday against the Chiefs. Boo. It is a home game, so I'm expecting good things. We will have a chance not only to start out 2-0, but 2-0 in our division.
That would be amazing.
That is a huge deal.
That has never happened.
I'm sure it has, but God, if I can remember. Oh, goodness. The best news that we've gotten over the last 2 weeks is that we finally were able to sign our center, our amazing captain, Rodney Hudson,
Yay.
the best center in the league, to a 3-year extension, $33.4 million with $24.4 guaranteed, and that made him officially the league's highest paid center, which he deserves.
As he should be.
Absolutely. Also, this is our OG lady killer. Congratulations to Phil Villapiano was inducted into the hashtag Gridiron Greats Hall of Fame. Woo!
Yay!
We are so excited, Phil. Congratulations. We love you. And there's never going to be anybody like you. And Raider
True.
Nation is richer for having you.
True.
And on to some sadder news. We do have to have a moment of silence for one of our other lady killers. Neron Ball passed away earlier this week after his long battle against a rare brain condition. So let's have a moment of silence. We will always miss you, Neron. You have, by all accounts, every single account, he was an amazing guy. So let's remember him for a second. Okay. Thanks again, Neron. Thanks to his family for creating such an amazing individual. Hopefully his work kind of sheds some light on his condition, which I still know nothing about. I mean, I tried to read up on it, and it's so rare. It's so strange. So if you get a chance, I always enjoy information. I'm a know-it-all. I got to do all that stuff. Jenny can relate because she's the same damn way.
Yep.
But, I don't feel bad for it. Do you feel bad?
Me neither.
All right.
No.
Good.
I like knowing everything.
I know. It makes your life much easier. We have just a couple other items to cover under team news, and then we'll go to news outside the nation. There was some big news that we do need to touch on it just because, and we're not going to say much else about it. So,
Unfortunately. We have to talk about this. Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Or Antonio Clown, as he is known in Raider Nation now.
Mm-hmm.
We won't spend a lot of time on this because we're actually sick of hearing about him, just like I'm sure all of you are. Basically, AB did everything he could think to do to get released, and that's exactly what happened. After acting like a toddler, on Saturday morning, AB asked for his release. It was granted, much to Raider Nation's relief. To no one's surprise, AB signed a few hours later with the Patriots. Your problem now.
That's right.
Thanks to AB being released, we're able to re-sign Heidi's cougar crush, Keelan Doss.
Woo! Heidi's so happy.
He is now our 6th wide receiver on the roster and should see some playing time this week.
Yep, they did confirm that he will likely be suited up. So we'll see if we can get some Keelan on the field.
Yes. So I want to touch on this Antonio Brown thing real quick.
All right, you go.
So one of our loyal fans messaged me asking that we talk about this a little bit. It is from Lycan, and I don't want to screw your @ up. I think it's @I_Lycan_I. Sorry if they're L's.
It's hard to tell between the L's and the capital I's.
Yeah. So he was talking about Carr's point of view and how Carr let AB into his family, and they spent more time together than Carr has spent with really anybody else that he played football with. Carr even said that.
Yeah.
And they became really close, really good buddies, and then all of a sudden AB acted like Carr was nothing to him. That totally pisses me off because no one hurts my quarterback physically or emotionally
You just want to hug him. Admit it.
I do want to hug him. I just want to hold him close and dry his eyes. However, I saw Carr talk about this, and I cannot remember exactly what he said. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. But he pretty much said, whatever, good luck to AB, and he was like the most amazing guy ever. Carr is the most amazing guy ever. I should clarify that.
Yes.
Because he didn't hold any resentment or grudge or anything against him. All he cares about is his Raider family and other football players doing great things. Because Carr is a great person.
He is. And one of the things he even said was, okay, I'm going to address this one more time and then I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Right.
He said, I wish him the best. I still care for the guy. You know, I hope he does really well over there. Who can fault the guy for saying that? I mean, I don't know how anybody can look at that guy or listen to him or anything and think there's any bad bone in his body.
Right.
We love Derek Carr.
Yes, we do. And Lycan, I was much more upset about this last week. I've had some time to cool off. So
she has. It took a while.
My rant is not as great as it would have been last Saturday.
Well, I'm glad you took some time off. I mean, that was probably important.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll talk about Derek Carr, more all the time.
What? No.
Every day. What? Anyways.
All day.
Let's go to the news outside the nation.
To satisfy your passing fancy with the rest of the league, here's the news outside the nation.
Whatever.
So, Seahawks traded for Houston Texans franchise-tagged pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney in exchange for a third-round pick and 2 players.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Veteran QB Brian Hoyer signed with the Colts to back up Jacoby Brissett.
Very smart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that they signed Brian Hoyer, but they got another quarterback, so that's good.
Yeah. Bills released running back LaShawn McCoy, who has since signed with the Chiefs. Boo! Atlanta agreed to terms with veteran kicker Matt Bryant. He's receiving a 1-year deal worth $3 million, and Giorgio Tavecchio is out of a job again, which sucks because I love him.
I know, I miss Papa G, but I mean, I'm really happy with Daniel Carlson, but I got a special place in my heart for Giorgio. So, hopefully he finds a job soon.
We didn't even talk about Carlson in team news. We should have. He deserves a segment.
We'll give him some love in The Lady Killer. How about that?
Okay. Chiefs wide receiver and domestic abuser Tyreek Hill was injured in Sunday's game and will not be playing against us this game or for the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yay!
Womp, womp.
I normally wouldn't cheer. I wouldn't do that.
This is the only player I've ever not been upset about who got injured, which sucks to say, but for real.
No, I mean, this is probably the only relief his poor kid has had in years.
Yeah, unless he got pissed and went home and took it out.
Well, he only has one shoulder this time, so poor kid has a fighting chance. I'm sorry. This is not funny, but it's so pathetic. No. It is so pathetic. We have to, I mean, there's just things, you really can't even look at the situation and not, just shake your head. It's so crazy.
It is. Moving on.
Here's to him being allergic to painkillers and having to suffer through this without it.
Is he?
All right, go.
The 49ers placed starting running back Jerick McKinnon on injured reserve for this season. Jaguars quarterback Nick Foles was placed on injured reserve with a likely designation to return after breaking his collarbone on Sunday.
Poor guy.
That guy goes everywhere.
He does. And, God. At least in Philly, he didn't break his anything.
Yeah. Colts wide receiver Devin Funchess underwent surgery for a broken collarbone Monday and will be placed on injury reserve. Man, this is all about injuries.
I know, but you know how that affects us? We're going to beat the Colts.
Oh my gosh, I hope so.
We are.
I can't live it down. Did I say that right? I can't.
Yes, you did.
Damn it. So my friend is a huge Colts fan, and a couple of months ago, he bought tickets to the Colts Chiefs game, and now he is super upset about Luck.
Of course.
And I haven't even asked him, like, are you still going to the game, or what? Are you going to sell your tickets? Anyhow, so we have to beat the Colts. That's the whole point of my story.
Yeah.
Eagles defensive tackle Malik Jackson is out for the rest of the season with a Liz Frank injury to his foot.
Alrighty. Good to know. And here's another one that directly affects us.
Yes. Chargers tight end Hunter Henry suffered a left knee fracture and is out indefinitely. That sucks for him.
How do the Chargers even have a team anymore?
I don't know.
They kill a person every single year. It's like they're sacrificing somebody to the gods because they still finished 12-4 last year. So how did that happen?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't get it. The Dolphins have reportedly, and it's been kind of disputed a little bit, but they've reportedly given the okay for safety Minkah Fitzpatrick to seek a trade, or at least to have discussions. The last report I saw was that there were several teams that had inquired, but his agent, Joel Siegel, dickhead, could not be reached for comment. Miles Jack signed an extension with the Jaguars, which is amazing because he just got his ass kicked out of a game last week, which was pretty cool. He was pissed. 4-year contract extension worth $57 million. The Texans also traded for Chiefs running back Carlos Hyde after losing Lamar Miller to a season-ending injury, and that was kind of in conjunction with picking up LaShawn McCoy. Carlos Hyde had a hell of a week last week against the Saints. They were on. That game, that was one of the best games.
That was a good game.
It was a really good game. The Texans continuing their whole whatever they're doing. I don't even know what they're doing. Trying to prove that you don't need a GM, I guess. I don't know. They traded 2 first-round picks plus a second-rounder to Miami in exchange for left tackle and pothead supreme Laramie Tunsil and wide receiver Kenny Stills. They also received special teamer Johnson Botamosi and offensive lineman Julian Davenport in the deal. They got a lot of stuff out of that.
Yeah.
The deal did nothing to help the Dolphins at all. They got their asses handed to them.
Yeah, they did.
The Ravens beat them 59-10.
That game was almost embarrassing to watch.
I couldn't even watch it. I couldn't even watch it. I just wanted to see all the injuries because there was a lot. Man.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all missed Eric Weddle getting his head split open,
Oh.
I know it's rude. I get it. I like blood. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm so into MMA. I like watching it because you get blood. Mm-hmm. Hockey's cool because you lose teeth and you get blood.
Maybe you're a vampire.
Maybe. Or I'm just a throwback to the old days of the NFL when you got blood.
Mm-hmm.
Every single game. At least every Raiders game. Chargers GM Tom Telesco has said that contracts with Melvin Gordon will be suspended until the conclusion of the season. Gordon continues to hold out and has yet to report to the team. However, there was a late-breaking moment today saying that he will report, I believe, by mid-season. Don't quote me on that completely without verifying because that is off the top of my head and I don't have a good memory at the moment. Something that we're all dying to hear, Ezekiel Elliott, who looks without his helmet like a wet muskox.
And an Ewok.
There's so many things. He's a master of disguises. And all of them are his face. I've also, one of the most appropriate ones, I think, when he first came out of the draft was he looks like a combination between Kanye West and a bumblebee. Anyway, Zeke and the Cowboys have finally signed a 6-year contract extension worth $90 million. 6 years. It runs through 2026, with Elliott already having 2 seasons remaining on his current contract. He is due to make about $102.9 million over the next 8 seasons.
Wow.
Retarded.
He better play his ass off.
That is a lot of damn money.
Yeah, it is.
And in some fun news, because it's not us, Patriots, say it with me, Patriots wide receiver Antonio Brown is being sued in federal civil court for 3 counts of sexual assault and rape. Now that is not funny at all, but I hope she takes him to the cleaners and rakes him over the coals. There's also a possibility still of criminal investigation. It depends on whether, I guess, the accuser decides to pursue that. The accuser, by the way, who's a former trainer and former college mate, I guess, of his, I think. If you haven't read some of the reports of the things that he said and did, he's a disgusting human being. I will tentatively and very lightly apologize to any Steelers fan who actually knew some of this, or not this, obviously, but knew of his behavior, because I think the Steelers did a really good job covering it up. Gotta say.
I find it interesting that all Antonio Brown ever wanted was publicity, and now he got it.
Yeah. It's another moment of karma.
Yeah.
Amazing.
If you want to get your 2 cents in, you can call us at 802-328-1867.
And now it's time for the Heidi game.
It's raining down. Hallelujah, it's raining down. Amen, it's raining down. Hallelujah, it's raining down. Amen, it's raining down. Hallelujah, it's raining down. Amen, it's raining down. Hallelujah, it's raining down. Amen. Amen.
Hello there.
Hello,
Hey,
Heidi.
Hi. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
So what do you got for us this week, Heidi?
Got a bunch of things for you this week, as usual. And I guess I should start by telling you them, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Let's go ahead with
Good
the
place to
list.
start.
Okay. You know what? Pretty much everything is going to be about the Broncos game.
That's perfect.
And why shouldn't it? Because it was an awesome game.
Absolutely.
So, but anyways, I don't know if you guys had mentioned it yet, but in that game, Josh Jacobs had a pretty decent game.
Yes, he did.
He was disappointed in himself because he thought he should do better than he already did. But he was the first player since 2001 to have over 100 yards from scrimmage and 2 rushing touchdowns in their NFL debut. And the last guy who did that was LaDainian Tomlinson.
Oh, I was right.
Yes.
Yay.
I remembered that off the top of my head. So I'm really proud of myself.
Yes.
So, yay. Thank you for confirming and making me feel better.
Yeah, so it is pretty elite company.
It's kind of funny that he thinks he didn't do well.
Well, that just goes to show that he's going to keep working and try to get even better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he can.
I agree.
Yeah. But our defense did pretty good. The Raiders defense had a total of 13 sacks the entire 2018 season. On Monday night, they already notched 23% of that total in one game alone.
Crazy.
Yeah, Benson Mayowa led the way with the first 2. One was a strip sack, and the other one should have been. and should have been a fumble recovery while we ran down the field.
Yeah.
And Cleveland Ferrell, our number 1 overall draft pick this year, tallied the 3rd sack with his first professional sack.
Yay!
Yes.
Overdrafted my ass.
And in total, the Raiders hit Flacco 4 times, and it was our first game with 3 sacks since we played the Chiefs on December 10th, 2017.
That is really pathetic, but I'm really proud of our guys.
I am too. And as you guys know, and have probably already mentioned, that Keelan Doss is back.
Yeah,
But-
we didn't get into it too much because we knew you'd want to talk about that.
Well, I'm not going to get into it too much, but you also know my other Cougar crush is Darren Waller. It's pretty amazing how far he's come. In all of the 2018 season, he had only 6 catches. On Monday night, he had 7.
Nice.
Yeah,
We got a gem. We got a gem there.
We
Big time.
did. We really did. I think that he's going to be able to be even more versatile than Jared Cook was in some parts.
I agree.
Yeah. But I just kind of have a couple of feel-good parts to his story. He celebrated 2 years of sobriety on August 12th. And he shows that having second chances can work, and as one of the success stories of the NFL drug policy in action. Which is saying something, because a lot of times you don't see positive stories with that.
Josh Gordon.
Yeah. Yeah, he lost 4 games to suspension in 2016 and the entire season to suspension in 2017. But had it not been for the NFL's intervention, who knows where he would have ended up. While Monday night was certainly one of the bigger nights in his life, there was one moment that will stand out in his memory. And it wasn't even during the game. Shortly before the game started, he was walking to the tunnel to go back into the locker room. A fan got his attention and called him over. That fan gave Waller a sobriety chip. But it wasn't just any sobriety chip. It was a Raiders sobriety chip for 2 years.
That's amazing.
I know. And I need to get myself one of those.
You should. You deserve it. You
I've
earned
earned
it.
Mm-hmm. I'm coming up on 3, so I might have to do that.
I think you should.
You should.
Yeah, totally. Anyways, Waller said, and I quote, "That had me lit before the game. Sent chills through me."
Yay!
Yep. And after that, he went on to help the Raiders knock off the Broncos on one of the world's biggest stages, Monday Night Football.
And history was made. We actually had... I was, for some reason, watching the fantasy football show on NFL Network. I don't know why. But they actually said, get on the hype train. Get on the Waller hype train. And
They said something nice to us?
they did. I was freaking amazed.
That is amazing.
I didn't know what to say. I was just astounded. But
Yeah,
they all got on the Waller hype train.
that's awesome. And one last thing about Waller. Today is his birthday, but it is also the day he released his latest album.
What?
Yes. Remember in Hard Knocks where he was always working on beats and stuff on his laptop?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can look him up, D Wall, Wall Street, and it's available on Spotify.
Awesome.
Cool.
And we'll try to post a link to it so you can get a little sampling of it.
That'd be awesome. And, of course, our amazing social media director is going to do that. Heidi Stabrick is her name.
She sounds like a pretty awesome person.
She's pretty awesome.
But anyways, back to the game. We didn't. Our offensive line was awesome.
Yeah.
I just keep saying awesome for that night, but it was.
It
Yeah.
was off.
How do you, what other word would you use? I mean, they were just freaking outstanding.
Yeah. We didn't allow a quarterback hit against the Broncos at all. Monday night was the first time in almost 5 years that the Broncos defense didn't record a single quarterback hit.
Holy cow. Did you say 5 years?
Yes, that goes all the way back to week 15 of the 2014 season.
Wow.
And we did that without both starting guards.
That says a lot about our line.
Yes.
And okay, I'm gonna make you throw up a little bit in your mouth, Heidi.
Okay.
You have to give a little bit of credit to Tom Cable.
No.
Come on. It's okay.
Actually, it almost killed me. I was going to say, hey, how about Tom Cable for Lady Killer?
Yeah.
But I can't do that.
Let's not go that far.
Yeah. I can't go there.
If the line by the end of the year, I'm going to go on record. If the line by the end of the year has allowed less than 15 sacks, I will give him a Lady Killer.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Sounds fair enough.
Okay, the least that Derek has ever taken is 16.
Correct.
So I will definitely be on board to make him a Lady Killer for that.
And I would have to agree with that.
Okay.
I
There
would
it
agree
is,
with
guys. 15 sacks or less. That's all I get. Otherwise, Cable, you get, mild props.
Treated like normal. Yeah. But that was the first time since 2016 that the Raiders held their opponent to 0 sacks in the season opener. And it was only the third time since the AFL-NFL merger.
Holy shit!
Yeah, the first time was in 1977.
Wow.
And like I said, the second time was 2016.
That's crazy. Are you feeling, how much are you feeling this team right now?
I'm totally feeling it.
Oh my gosh. It's a different feeling.
Yeah, I think that what's-his-name has unified and solidified the guys.
Can you, specify what's his name, please?
No, I can't.
Oh, is the bad guy? He who
It's
shall
too
not be
well.
named.
Yeah, he who shall not be named. Khalil Mack is no longer that guy.
No.
We can say Khalil Mack now.
We can. I never wanted to not say Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
But I understand people's reservations, blah, blah, blah. But look how much worse it could have gotten. And it did. So,
Yeah. So he is the new he who shall not be named.
forever.
He who
and
walks behind
eternity.
the rows of corn.
Oh, goodness. All right. What else do you got for us, Heidi?
Just one final aside. It's the end of an era on Sunday.
What is that?
On Sunday will be the last time we play on the dirt infield.
Aw. I realize it's uncomfortable for the players, but it's kind of nostalgic.
We won't play again in the Coliseum until November 3rd. And by then, the World Series will be over. I checked. It's going to be ending on...
We're not baseball people.
Well, sometimes it goes right into the end of October, and if there's, I don't know, a weather delay or something, it could go into November. So the World Series will be over, and even if the A's hoist the trophy, they will not be playing in the Coliseum while we do anymore. The era is over.
It's bittersweet.
It is.
Well, Heidi, thank you as always. You always have amazing tidbits. I love the little stories. Love them.
Thank you.
And especially those ones that go back all the way to the AFL days. Where else do you get those? Come on. Only from the ladies.
That's because we, like the Raiders on Monday night, are awesome.
That's right. Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's right.
Thanks, Heidi. We will, of course, have you back every single week, as usual. And hopefully continue to talk about wins.
Yes.
Yay.
I have a feeling we might be able to do that a few times more this year than we did last year.
I have a good feeling,
Hopefully.
too. Yep.
All right.
It was a way to start.
I will talk to you ladies soon. And go Raiders.
Go Raiders. And now it's time for Silver and Black Throwback.
CMPM presents the Ladies of Darkness podcast. It's time to go back to the good old days. Hit that silver and black throwback. Chill. You You're listening to a Crow's Nest Podcast Network production. Raider Nation. All Raiders. All the time. Tune in wherever podcasts are found.
On September 11th in 1960, the Raiders opened with their first game ever played, losing to Houston 37-22. If you remember, there was a Houston Oilers team. It was not the Texans. On September 3rd, 1975, Jim Otto, the last original Raider, retires after 15 years as the Raiders' starting center. He was amazing, and he still is. On September 2nd, 1979, new head coach Tom Flores gets his first league win as a Raiders down the Rams 24-17 at the LA Coliseum.
Yay!
Woo! Some great moments in Raiders history. Now it's time for the Lady Killer.
Who's that lady killer?
Now that the regular season is back in full swing, we will be able to pick lady killers based on their game performance.
Yay!
The only problem with that is that when there's a really awesome game, we can't narrow it down to just one. So here's a lady killer from each of us.
We got to pick.
Yay!
I'm really curious to see who Jenny says. You're all going to be shocked. Who is it, Jenny?
I'm sure you are. I think this week I'll go with Derek Carr.
Oh my God! What? This is totally unexpected.
I really did have a lot more this week. There was like 30 lady killers this week.
There were so many options. We had an embarrassment of riches.
Yes, we did. Like pandas. Anywho, Derek Carr. Derek Carr was lights out against the Broncos. He was 22 of 26 for over an 84% completion percentage. He moved around in the pocket for the first time ever and kept his feet active to avoid pressure. He played with a laser focus that was easy for everyone to see. Mm-hmm. After a big week 1, DC needs just 81 more passing yards to eclipse Ken Stabler for the most in Raiders' career history.
Yes.
And maybe the Carr haters can shut the hell up now. Not only did he play lights out this week, he's played great in his previous couple of games against the Broncos as well. In total, he's completed 70 of 84 attempts, an 83.3 completion percentage, thrown 8.5 yards per attempt, had 0 interceptions, and posted a 110 passer rating in his last 3 games taking on the Broncos. In light of that, it's easy to see why he is my lady killer this week and forever.
He definitely earned that. I think he was out there just fighting for a lady killer spot. Not like he's had any shortage of them.
Shut up. I'm sure that's the only reason he plays his heart out for me.
You're damn right. It's just for Jenny. It's just for the ladies of darkness. All right, you ready? My lady killer is our coach, John Gruden.
Nuh-uh.
Yes. Love the man.
I think you love him as much as I love Derek Carr.
Not in the same way. John Gruden recorded his 100th NFL win as an NFL head coach.
I know where your mind is.
Shut up. He put a team on the field that absolutely destroyed the solid defense that Denver has fielded for the last several years, as we discussed. Von Miller and Bradley Chubb weren't even able to sniff the quarterback. Everyone in the media was picking the Broncos to win. And look what happened. Gruden didn't let any of that stand in his way. He was able to guide the team through the debacle with what's his name, that guy who will not be named, and pull out a resounding victory. That victory was closer than it looked, a lot closer. And the reason I say that is because we did hold them to absolutely minimal points until the very end of the game.
Drinks on Gru.
Drinks on Gru. Woo! anyways, so Gruden is obviously my lady killer. He kills it every week. Did the right thing. Got rid of a cancer. Wasn't even a locker room cancer, just a cancer overall. Cut that shit out.
More like a damn it, that was going to be funny.
That was going to be funny, too.
I was going to say, more like a venereal disease.
He did a big shot of penicillin and called it a day. Mm-hmm. All right, it's time for Seriously, Bro.
Seriously, bro?
Seriously.
You know we all have our moments. Some of them earn a place on our wall of shame. Seriously, bro.
This week, in light of some of the new developments that have absolutely gone completely, apparently unnoticed by the NFL, we're going to seriously bro the NFL and Roger Goodell again. I know there's no shortage of this. It happens often. But this offseason, it's been disgusting how inconsistent the league has been in punishing, or at least addressing, conduct unbecoming. This is a huge issue. Seriously, bro.
Seriously, bro.
We got rid of Antonio Brown because of conduct unbecoming. Okay? That means that you acted like an ass. And you know you acted like an ass. We have thousands of examples of you acting like an ass. Because this includes all of his damn social media tweets, all of his damn Instagram shit, all of his damn whining and bitching and complaining. You know, the fact that he's eligible to play this Sunday, by the way, against Miami. It's not like they frickin' need him, but he's eligible to play. They haven't decided yet if they're going to put him on the exempt list, but it's the commissioner's exempt list, so of course, you know, that's up to the commissioner. Mm-hmm. After this summer, when there is absolute refusal to punish Tyreek Hill in any way, absolute refusal to do anything about AB, and absolute refusal to even show a consistent front. Seriously, bro.
Seriously, bro.
It is way past time to get rid of Roger Goodell.
It really is. It has been for a long time.
You know, it's one of the things that pisses me off the most about this whole situation with Antonio Brown is that we had the opportunity to grab one of the top receivers in the game, and we took it. And now we're seeing the fruits of our labor, which is basically Gruden and Mayock came together as a team, made a decision. If you think that Mayock is completely castrated by Gruden, you're wrong. This right here shows exactly how that worked out. We are now looking at a complete train wreck in New England. I guarantee you, I'm not going to guarantee. I'm going to bet that by mid-season, I don't think that by double-digit week 10, that Antonio Brown is a Patriot anymore.
I agree.
Mayock and Gruden foresaw what was going to happen. After all the support they gave, Gruden was all on board with AB. And then Mayock put his foot down, and he said, you cannot have this. This is one I cannot let you continue with. So can we please, by the way, Raider Nation, seriously, bro, give my lady killer and our, you know, past lady killer, give them some credit for being a team and being united front.
Seriously, bro.
Seriously, bro. There was Gruden's like he's the new Bill Belichick. Some of the press conferences that they've had since the cancer left, since the venereal disease was cut out, have been really amazing. I mean, the team, the coaches, Mayock, they've all kind of stood strong on like, you know, okay, we've answered questions about this. We're not going to do it anymore. Somebody finally asked Gruden again the other day, something about, you know, what do you think of blah, blah, blah. What's going to happen to Antonio Brown? And he's like, I don't know. You'll have to ask his employer. I had to share that as a tweet because it was hilarious. And of course, then Heidi chimes in with her, well, you like Gruden as much as I like Keelan Doss. No, it was, what's the other guy's name?
Who?
The other guy she likes.
Darren Waller?
Yeah. No, it was Keelan Doss. You're right. I was right. You like him as much as I like Keelan Doss. And I'm like, yeah, but not in the same way. I'm not, seriously, bro, I wouldn't bang Gruden. There's just no way.
Why not?
I don't want a guy sitting there in the middle of sex looking at me going, I want better fucking execution. Nobody needs that in their life.
He totally would too.
He would. You know that Cindy is sitting there like rolling her eyes. Like, you fucker, you did it again. Oh, goodness.
I thought that was just in the bedroom.
You said you'd never tell anybody. Now it's on national TV. But seriously, it's hilarious. And on that note.
This Seriously Bro should be about Angria.
You can seriously bro me next week, okay?
I might.
Okay. That is your prerogative.
Yes. Well, do you want to share our announcement?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
We have decided that because season has now hit us, we're doing very well on the field so far, knock on wood. And
knock on wood if you're with me.
Knock on wood if you're with me. I don't know if anybody could hear that. I was knocking on wood. We are going to start producing 2 shows a week. So we're going to have a little bit of condensed. We're going to do a show early in the week and then one later in the week. A wrap-up show and a preview show, if you will. So stay tuned for both of those. We'll always have them on our social media, of course. And hopefully this works out great for all of us because we don't have to be up as late. Like some people like Jenny or pumpkins, and they turn into a vegetable after 9 p.m. So, given that, that's our big news.
Hell yeah. That's exciting.
It is exciting. I can't
Don't
wait.
get mad as if we miss one.
Please don't.
Our lives are hard.
Our lives are hectic.
Yeah, you don't even know.
You don't even want to know. So much.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on Ladies of Darkness, a Crow's Nest Podcast Network production. If you're interested in donating some money to keep the ladies in the dark, please do so. Our PayPal link will be up on all of our social media accounts. Make sure you listen to all of our CNPN shows, the Pillaging Podcast, East Coast Nation, CNPN Blackout, Put on Waivers, Inebriation, and the Crow's Nest Podcast.
There's a lot.
That's a long-ass list.
We love our guys. They're amazing.
Yeah, we do.
Again, like we just mentioned, coming soon. We'll be coming at you twice a week. So stay tuned. Pay attention. Please give us a call. As always, we love your voicemails. We have had none because we've been on hiatus, and I'm sure nobody wants to call and talk about stuff that's probably not going to be talked about for 2 weeks. So we're sorry about that. Shit happens. Glad you still love us. Shorty, at Just for Kicks, we love you, man.
I love you, Shorty.
Just a quick shout out there. Keep an eye out on our social media pages for all of our upcoming events, some giveaways. Those prize packs are really popular. So Heidi's been doing a great job with that. And even that last guy that won, that guy Mark, who's a Cowboys fan, he even enjoyed the prize pack.
He really did. You have no idea.
I'm very excited to hear that.
Excited about the pen.
Oh, nice. That's
like
amazing.
a child.
Well, you know what? We might have a convert. We might. Yes. Fingers crossed. And
he's already got a Raiders jersey.
And a bunch of Raiders stuff. Yay. All right. So this week we are hopefully going to whoop the Chiefs. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood if you're with me. Raiders, you're amazing. We love you. And until next week, go Raiders.
Go Raiders.